Okay. Hello, welcome to Writings from the Hills. My name is Lori, and this week we are spotlighting a book called Pockets Full Awry. This is the Obrist murder case. This is written by Dick Burdette. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he wrote the Waterloo Wonder book. He's wrote quite a few different books, a lot of them about more like Scioto County, but some very interesting books. This is a murder mystery true crime based in Scioto County. And I am actually going to be reading from chapter 1. The actual chapter starts out with quite a few different quotes from different places. And one of them is, "The questions are so much more important than the answers." And that's by Rumpole for the defense. On Friday, August 1st, 1947, the moment he emerged from the shadowy darkness into the glow of the dimly lit back porch, the doctor was a dead man. A bullet penetrated his brain, and the next-door neighbor, hearing what sounded like a board snapping, turned on his front porch light and stepped outside. Perhaps someone was messing with his car. He checked the backyard and garage, and he saw nothing. He went back inside. Across the alley, directly behind the doctor's garage, a man and a wife starting upstairs had heard what sounded like a firecracker. 20 minutes later, a voice shouted, "Mother, come quick! Something's happening to Daddy." The neighbor ran next door. So did the couple across the alley. Soon the crime scene was a swarm of flashing red lights, flashlights, and uniformed police, detectives, and more neighbors, physicians, and scores of gawkers and passerbys, all milling all over the backyard, and by morning, by radio, and by word of mouth, the news, sketchy and shocking, mesmerizing, and somehow perversely exhilarating, had spread all over the city. That afternoon, when the Portsmouth Times skidded across the front porches all over town, the lead story began. Shot from an ambush as he reached the back steps of his home, Dr. George E. Obrist, Sr., 45, prominent Portsmouth physician and surgeon, was slain about 11:45 p.m. Friday in one of the most mysterious crimes ever to confront Portsmouth police. A gunman, approximately using a .22 caliber rifle, fired from a range estimated at 40 to 60 feet, and sent a bullet into Dr. Obrist's head as he walked to the well-lighted back porch at 1410 Offner Street. The doctor's body was found about 20 minutes later by his son, George Jr., who had returned from a trip to the Scioto County Fair with a girlfriend. His wife, Corinne, and their daughter, Joan, 16, were asleep upstairs. With only a meager clues to work on, the city detectives began to check today on a possible motive. None of the popular doctor's family knew of any enemies or threats. His associates said he lived an exemplary life and worked hard at his large practice. The best deduction was the fatal shot was fired from a property of attorney Arthur Bannon, just south of the Obrist home at 1404 Offner Street. Mr. and Mrs. Bannon and their daughter Edith had been gone for 3 weeks on a vacation to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and are not expected back for another week or two. There was evidence that someone had stepped into the flower garden on the south side of the Bannon yard next to the home of Mrs. Madge Dunn, 1328 Offner, crossed the Bannon yard and climbed over the railing on the Bannon's back porch. There were bits of moist earth and fresh grass on the edge of the porch, marking the railings. An old-fashioned cistern pump on the porch were marks that may have been made by a hand or an arm. The police theorized that the slayer might have used the metal pump top as a rest for his rifle. The detectives expressed an opinion that the slaying was well planned by someone who knew or had studied Dr. Obrist's habits. Well, that is just the beginning of the mystery of the Obrist murder case in Pockets Full of Rye by Dick Burdette. This copy can be found in our local history department. There are some copies that can be checked out. Just go to our website at www.briggslibrary.com to reserve a copy or call any of our locations. And I will see you next time. So long.